He's had 600 pounds of wheat rotting in the garage for 6 years. No grain mill. Never bought one. His big plan is to beat the shit out of it with a rock like some prehistoric dumbass when the grid dies. He's never admitted this out loud because it would confirm he's basically planning to jack off into a pile of wheat and hope for the best. Dave has told you 4 times he's coming to your house when it all collapses. Every time he does that creepy little laugh, Dave owns 0 supplies. His entire prep is your fucking address. He's got a bag with dirty socks, a hatchet he couldn't use to cut butter, and a map with a big star on your house. Dave isn't prepping for SHTF. He's prepping to show up, eat your food, fuck your wife, and call it mutual aid. The bug-out bag is 71 pounds. He's 58 and already out of shape. He carried it 11 feet in the driveway before dropping it to adjust a strap. It's still sitting there like a sad monument to his failure. Inside are 3 knives. He can't explain the third one, probably because one is for cutting rope, one is for stabbing looters, and the third is for when the loneliness hits and he needs to feel something. He watched one YouTube video about the gray man concept, and now he's stomping through Menards in full multicam, plate carrier, boonie hat, and a drop leg holster carrying a fucking Leatherman. A 4-year-old is staring at him with her mouth open like she's watching a circus freak. He's the most visible dipshit in Lake County. He thinks he's invisible. Spoiler, everyone can see the hard-on for tactical cosplay from a mile away. 41 guns, 16,000 rounds, 9 optics, half still in the box because he never mounted them. A giant safe that took 3 men and a lot of yelling to install. Water plan, the kitchen faucet, backup water plan, the bathroom faucet. When the shit hits, he'll have enough firepower to start a small war and 0 clean water to wash the blood off his dick. Neighbor Karen preps absolutely nothing. 1 flashlight with dead batteries. At the mailbox, she casually drops that she has 900 pounds of dog food because Costco had a sale, and her Great Dane eats like a horse. She has more actual calories stored than this guy. She has no idea she's out prepping him. She'd be horrified. She just thinks he's the weird neighbor who won't shut the fuck up about beans and the end times while she feeds her dog better than he feeds his family. You bought 2 goats for milk and brush control. Instead, you acquired 2 escape artist psychopaths. The fence is perfect. They're both on the roof of your gladiator again. One is screaming like a banshee having an orgasm. When you walk up, they go dead silent and just stare at you with pure evil in their eyes. These aren't goats. They're little horned bastards who know exactly how to break your spirit, and they're doing it for sport. He spent $3,000 on chickens for eggs and meat security. Raccoon came in one night, fucked the whole flock, ate the survivors, and left a turd on the coop roof like a calling card. The raccoon has better OPSEC than he does. 4 days of pure MREs. Day 5, he was on the toilet so long his legs went numb. Realized the jalapeno cheese is the only thing worth hoarding, and that nuclear-proof food will still make you shit your pants sideways. Fiber is the real SHTF. Faraday cage is a trash can lined with cardboard and hope. Phone rang inside it. He double-stacked the cans. Phone still rang. Now it's just a fancy place to hide his porn hard drives when the EMP hits. $1,900 solar setup. Runs a phone charger and 1 light if the sun is directly overhead and God is in a good mood. In winter, it generates less power than his wife's vibrator on low. He still calls it energy independence. Bug out plan, I-65 south with the 71-pound bag. Traffic gridlocks immediately. Some skinny tweaker walks past eating a Snickers. That guy has 0 gear, 0 plan, and is still going to outlive him because he isn't sitting in a Jeep full of tactical shit like a sitting duck. Named his sourdough starter after his ex-wife. Feeds it, talks to it, takes it to gun shows. Never baked a single loaf, just a jar of rotting flour he treats better than most of his relationships. Hunting plan, deer. 3 weeks in, every deer in the county is dead and the meat is spoiled because he field dressed them like a blindfolded drunk. Now it's rabbits. Rabbit starvation is real. You can eat until your stomach is tight and still waste away. Dying with a belly full of skinny rabbit is the most pathetic way a prepper can check out. Rotation day. He walks into the storage room with a clipboard like a big swinging dick. Can 1 expired 2019. Can 2 from the Obama years. Chili so old it has a presidential pardon. Peaches that fused into 1 sticky moldy cum brick. And a 2011 Stroganoff bucket that smells like death's asshole. His only note from 2016 says, "Start rotating." He still hasn't. The food is rotting harder than his marriage. He spent weeks making a family emergency plan. Rally points, radio codes, laminated cards. Briefed his wife for 20 minutes straight, asked if she had questions. She looked at him and said, "Is this the reason my car is still outside while your 41 guns get a climate-controlled garage? Also, when's the last time you fucked me instead of inventorying beans?" He got into canning, then he read about botulism and his asshole puckered permanently. Now he pressure cooks green beans at temperatures that would sterilize a whorehouse, holds them for years, then boils them again until they're green sludge. He's made 140 jars, eaten 4, the other 136 sit in the basement like jars of green cum, and he's too scared to open them because he thinks they'll kill him. This motherfucker can shoot an azimuth. Owns the compass, the maps, the whole LARPer kit. Practiced pace counting in the backyard until he felt like a Navy SEAL. Went into the Hoosier National Forest and got lost in 35 minutes. Standing there with every tool he needed, he still whipped out his phone like a lost tourist. One bar, instant navigation, he felt his balls shrink. He's prepared for EMP, solar flares, economic collapse, race wars, and the second coming. Then he got laid off in March, stood in the parking lot holding a cardboard box with his world's best prepper mug, and realized he had 8 years of gear, $12K of tactical shit, and $400 in the bank. The real apocalypse arrived by email on a Tuesday, and it didn't give a single fuck about his plate carrier. His wife still had to buy groceries with her own money. Every prepper fantasizes about the cool ending. Last stand, final magazine, going out in a blaze of glory with a hard-on. Reality is a rotten molar, starts throbbing week 2. By week 5, his face is swollen like he sucked off a beehive. No dentist, no antibiotics. 41 guns, 16,000 rounds, 8 years of playing soldier, and what actually kills him is a cavity some hygienist circled in 2023 while he was too busy watching YouTube videos about killing people with a spoon. He dies of a toothache with a full magazine and an empty bank account. He films 20-minute videos about essential skills for SHTF from a climate-controlled garage full of unopened Amazon boxes. Between takes, he orders DoorDash and complains about the delivery fee. His most popular video is how to purify water while he drinks a bottled Fiji he bought in bulk during a panic. The comments are full of people thanking him for the life-saving knowledge. He has never once purified water outside of a supervised class he paid for. The YouTube prepper has a channel called Hardened Homestead and lives in a subdivision with an HOA. Every video starts with "when the grid goes down," while his Tesla charges in the driveway. He demonstrates fire starting with a ferro rod he bought last week, fails 3 times on camera, then cuts to a successful take. His audience thinks he's a seasoned survivalist. His neighbors think he's the weird guy who films himself yelling at sticks. He posts weekly gear reviews for products he gets free from companies. Every item is an absolute must-have. His actual bug-out bag is still sitting in the same spot it was 3 years ago. He has never carried it farther than the end of his driveway. The hypocrisy is thick enough to stop a bullet. He sells the dream of self-reliance while living entirely off the system he's constantly predicting will collapse. The survivalist YouTuber who preaches community and mutual aid has a Patreon where he charges $50 a month for exclusive tips. When a real emergency hit his area last year, he locked his doors, turned off the lights, and posted a video the next day about OPSEC and not drawing attention. His mutual aid network is a Discord full of people who will never meet in person, and a PayPal link. He films himself living off-grid for 72 hours on land he drives to in a lifted truck, with a cooler full of store-bought food and a generator just in case. The video is titled True Self-Sufficiency. He edits out the part where he called his wife to bring more ice. His subscribers call him an inspiration. His battery pack calls him a tourist. He spends every weekend preaching self-reliance and being the gray man while living in a house full of tactical gear that screams, "Please notice me." His garage looks like a military surplus store threw up, yet the second a real power outage hits, he is the first one in line at the gas station asking if anyone has ice. All that talk about independence, and he's still one blown transformer away from begging for a bottle of water. These guys love talking about how soft modern society is and how they alone will thrive when it all collapses. Then their wife asks them to fix a leaky faucet, and they watch 3 hours of YouTube before calling a plumber. They can field strip a rifle in the dark but can't change a tire without looking up a tutorial. The apocalypse isn't going to wait for them to buffer the video. He posts daily about food storage, rotation systems, and never relying on the supply chain. His own pantry is full of cans that expired under the last president and a freezer full of meat he panic bought once and never rotated. When the real shortage comes, he'll be the guy trading his 10-year supply of stale chili for a single loaf of fresh bread from the neighbor he used to call a sheeple. Survivalists who lecture everyone about medical readiness and trauma kits are the same ones who haven't been to a dentist in 8 years and think a tourniquet will solve a heart attack. They stock antibiotics they don't know how to dose and practice IFAC dumps on mannequins while ignoring the fact that their own blood pressure is a ticking time bomb. Prepared for gunshot wounds, completely unprepared for cholesterol. The ultimate hypocrisy is the mutual aid crowd. They form groups, make fancy charts, and talk about community resilience right up until someone actually needs help. Then the group chat goes silent, the radios stay quiet, and suddenly every man is an island with a locked pantry. All that talk about brotherhood evaporates the second real hunger shows up. He has jars of heirloom seeds carefully labeled and stored in a cool, dark place. He talks about seed sovereignty and never relying on the industrial food system. He has never planted a single one. The seeds have better long-term storage conditions than his actual marriage. When the collapse comes, he'll still be watching YouTube videos on how to germinate tomatoes while his neighbors are already eating theirs. He lectures the internet about stacking gold and silver for barter when the dollar dies. Meanwhile, his credit cards are maxed out buying the latest must-have tactical gear. He has a tube of silver eagles and a mountain of high-interest debt. When the grid goes down, the only thing he'll be able to barter is the story of how he used to own nice things before the bank repossessed his truck. The bushcraft expert lives in a subdivision with an HOA that fines people for leaving trash cans out overnight. He films himself building a debris hut in his backyard while the neighbors mow their lawns and pretend not to notice. The hut collapses the first time it rains. He edits the video to make it look intentional and titles it Improvised Shelter in Adverse Conditions. His wife asks why there's a pile of wet sticks next to the grill. He tells her it's training. He speaks almost entirely in prepper jargon. Everything is SHTF, Teotwalkie, Bob's, good bags, inch bags, and when the balloon goes up. Ask him a normal question and he'll answer with 3 acronyms and a reference to a book he's never finished. His actual skills are add to cart and watch later. The only language he is fluent in is the one that makes him sound prepared while doing absolutely nothing. He has a secret storage unit his wife doesn't know about. Inside is $8,000 of gear he charged to credit cards while telling her they were tightening the budget this month. He hides new packages in the garage and opens them when she's at work. The hypocrisy is perfect. He preaches financial preparedness and OPSEC while running a covert operation against his own household budget. When the real emergency hits, the first person who will leave him is the one who finds the credit card statements. He maxed out 3 credit cards buying critical gear during a sale he saw on YouTube. Now he's got a garage full of unopened boxes and a minimum payment that looks like a second mortgage. He tells his online group that debt is a tool of the system and real preppers stay free. Meanwhile, he's one late payment away from the system owning every rifle, every can of beans, and every fancy water filter he bragged about. Financial freedom looks a lot like 24% interest. He spent all last Saturday building a debris hut in his subdivision backyard. Neighbors walked past with groceries while he was lashing sticks together with paracord and talking to the camera about primitive shelter systems. The HOA sent a letter. His kids asked why Dad was living in a pile of leaves. He called it bushcraft training. Everyone else called it a midlife crisis with better marketing. The ultimate LARPer spends weekends in the woods practicing skills with $2,000 of brand new equipment, then drives home to a climate-controlled house, takes a hot shower, and orders pizza. He posts the footage with captions about living the hard way so you don't have to. The hard way for him ends the moment the battery on the camera dies. Real hardship is something he only experiences when Amazon is late with a package. He tells everyone to acquire hard assets like gold, silver, and lead. His own hard assets are a maxed out Discover card and a garage full of plastic Chinese gear that will break the first time it's used hard. He has a 1 ounce silver round he shows off on camera. He has $14,000 in revolving debt he never mentions. When the barter economy starts, the only thing he'll have to trade is excuses. He hides new gear purchases from his wife like he's running a black market operation. New plate carrier, stashed in the attic. Another case of ammo, buried under the winter coats. She finds the shipping boxes every time. Their marriage has two inventories, the one he shows her and the real one that lives in the crawl space. He calls it OPSEC. She calls it grounds for divorce. He has 400 hours of prepper YouTube and still can't start a fire without lighter fluid and a therapist. Bought 6 must-have survival knives and still uses scissors to open his MREs. His bug-out bag weighs more than his actual skills. Watched every water purification video ever made and still drinks from the garden hose. Owns a Faraday cage that can't even block a phone call. His entire plan is hope the YouTube guys were right. Spent $400 on a tactical tomahawk he uses as a paperweight. Can quote every gear review but can't field dress a chicken. His garage is a museum of unopened Amazon boxes and broken dreams. The only thing he's successfully prepped for is a lifetime of watching other people pretend. Bought 14 water filters and has never tested a single one. His food storage expires faster than his motivation. Has a 71-pound bag he carried exactly 11 feet before quitting. Knows every reason everyone else's plan is wrong and still has no working plan of his own. The algorithm has better survival instincts than he does. Spent more on titanium sporks than on actual food that hasn't expired. His gray man strategy is full multicam at Menards. Can explain rabbit starvation in detail while eating his 5th frozen pizza of the week. 600 pounds of wheat, 0 grain mills, infinite confidence. Dave's entire prep plan is your address and a creepy little laugh. 41 guns, 16,000 rounds, and a water plan that starts and ends with the faucet. His solar panels generate more excuses than electricity. Bug-out plan is I-65 South, same as 200,000 other people who also think they're special. The only EMP he's protected against is the one that already hit his marriage. Prepping hard for the apocalypse he saw in a thumbnail. Owns 3 Baofengs and still can't hit a repeater 2 miles away. His radio plan is key up and hope someone smarter answers. Spent $300 on antennas so he can listen to truckers complain about traffic he'll never be in. Claims he's off-grid communication ready, while his radio battery is always dead. Ham license collected, actual skills still on back order. His emergency network is 3 guys arguing about SWR on a dead frequency. Owns a $400 IFAC and freezes the second real blood shows up. Has a cat tourniquet still in the packaging because I'll figure it out when I need it. His medical plan is Google it while someone is bleeding out. Packed trauma shears, chest seals, and a full kit. Has never taken a basic first aid class. The only thing his IFAC has ever treated is his own anxiety. Talks about tactical medicine, but panics at a nosebleed. Calls himself a homesteader while his tomatoes die for the 3rd year in a row. Bought goats for sustainable living and now spends more time chasing them than farming. His garden produces more weeds and disappointment than food. Homesteading for him means watching other people do it on YouTube while raccoons eat his chickens. Raised chickens for eggs and ended up raising food for the local raccoon mafia. His compost pile is more successful than his actual crops. His mutual aid group is just 5 guys waiting for someone else to show up with the food. Mutual aid in his circle means I show up empty-handed and leave with your shit. They have a group chat with 40 members and 0 actual supplies between them. The only thing mutual is the delusion that any of them will help when it counts. Formed a mutual aid network that collapsed faster than his tomato plants. Preaches mutual aid, practices every man for himself the second the power blinks. Claims he can fix anything with baling wire and spite. Still calls a plumber for a dripping faucet. Owns every tool in the catalog and still breaks more than he repairs. His I can fix that speech lasts longer than the actual repair attempt. Watched 20 hours of engine repair videos and still can't change his own oil without YouTube open. The only thing he successfully repairs is his ego after every failed project. Fixed it himself, permanently.